And we would just love it if you would give this video a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. All right, today I have a fun Christmas card project for us. So let's go ahead and change our view and see what we're going to make today. All right, there we go. I felt like I just hadn't got a chance to really give the last Christmas set as much love as I wanted to. So I had made a really well-received card using some fairy lights. That was a big hit, but I also wanted to do this window card. And I wanted to point out that these card bases, they come in circles and there's some squares. They still have lots available in the different sizes. And these are definitely something that would be useful to stock up on, especially if you have these dies. And there's also some of the different dies available as well. So if you have not been able to get those yet, you can find those in the warehouse clearance, a lot of them. So, all right, to make this card, and I want to show you, it is an easel card. I decorated the bottom and it stands up very prettily. Now I'll kind of tilt it this way so you can kind of see how that's going to look. And I've tucked the lantern and another birdie inside. So let's take a look at the products that I used to make this card. Quite a stack. We've got quite a few. So I started with the rounded sunlight window and the 6x6 round bifold card white. And when it is all folded out, it looks like this with 3 consecutive circles. And that is one of my favorites. But there's also one with a square. There's I had one laying here. I don't know what I did with it, but kind of a gatefold one that's very nice. And I just love having these on hand. It makes it very easy to use the dies. We're using the Christmas poinsettia and the mold and the stamp and die. That last time I checked, there were still some of these available. Along with the window sunlight, we also have the simple elegant centerpiece, and that's the one that I used for the base of my card. And then I used a couple sets from the latest Christmas release, and that is the Christmas lantern and the Christmas holly accents. All right, so I have all my goodies over here in a box. And from the paper pad, I cut 2 circles. And you can see that they're kind of this very off muted color of green. It's a little different shade of green than some of the other Christmas sets. And I really like that. And you can see in my leaves that it's a little different color than what I normally do. So I'll show you how I did that. And I cut these 2 circles with, it's the same size as this inner part of this piece. So if you cut this piece with the 2 centers, and then you just take a snip here to take out that middle section. So you can use the 2 dies that come with that. And then this is all the window pieces cut out in white and glued together. Then I also have these 2 window panes in gold. And then for that decorative piece from the Elegant Lace, I have 1 in white and 1 in gold so that we can stack that. And I just thought those colors looked really pretty on this background. Now I did go ahead and make our flowers. And like I said, there is another video using this set where I use the fairy lights that we'll go through step by step on making the flowers. If you would like to check that out, that is still available. And I did all my coloring the same way, except my colors of green. So I will show you how I did that. But I did one of the lantern, a couple of the little birds, a couple extra greenery pieces, and then this little sprig of holly. So for the flowers, I pretty much did one of each of the stamps that come in that set. And I do have a handful of the leaves. And then the last thing that I made was the Merry Christmas that comes from our lantern set. I stamped that out in green as well. So I used quite a bit of different colors while making the things that I needed. My flowers have the goldenrod along with the birds and the lantern. My lantern is colored in the night sky or the navy, and I believe there's another dark blue. Any of those would work. And then my flowers are these three colors right here. The vermilion, the lighthouse, and the tea rose. Now, to get my greens this color, I stamped them. There we go. I stamped them in the English ivy. And I added a little bit of the English ivy to give them the depth. But then I had to pull in a couple colors that I have in my stash because I did not have just the right color greens to match this paper in the Ranger ink. They probably have them available. I just didn't own them. So I pulled out Skylight and Wintergreen from the Catherine Pooler inks, and you may have to do something like that at your house if depending on what inks you have in your craft room. So I don't do that very often, but every now and then I just don't have a choice. So, okay, I'm going to grab my shaping mat and I'm going to add some shape to my other pieces here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put on my glasses. So, and pretty much on my birds, I'm on the greenery, just going to press around here, give those some shape. I want my birds to stand out. Okay. I want my berries to be rounded. And after I do that, I like to turn it over and kind of press on the little parts to make those pop up. And the same with the lantern. I'm going to try to make those berries have some roundedness. And then just add some shape to all this greenery. And then right across the top of my lantern, I'm going to go ahead and then on these connecting places, go ahead and just press on the front side to get those to kind of pop up. All right, there we go. That was easy. All right, so now let's take a look at how to put this together. So let's go ahead and do the inside piece first. And I'm just going to layer these up so that I have that nice gold peeking out. I think the gold and white peeking out from each other is such a pretty way to go on your holiday cards. That little flash of gold just says holiday to me. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue around the edges. There we go. So I've seen so many beautiful Christmas cards that many of you have been making with this set. And you inspired me. I was like, I need to use that again. It's been a while. So I'm going to just layer that up. All right. Making sure that all the way around I can see some gold. I don't know who thought of that the first time, but I'm so glad they did because I just love adding that little hint of gold. There we go. Okay, and now on this piece, I am going to take my green color and just go around the edges because we will see these edges. Okay. And you could do that with the English ivy as well. I just grabbed that one, but any of those would work fine. And now we're just going to add this one to the inside. So I know the family is in Italy right now, having a great time. I hope their pictures are sure inspiring. They're making me want to travel. But it looks like they're having a great time and seeing some fantastic sights. All right, now we're going to set this aside for now and go ahead and work on the front of our card. So let's go ahead and add our gold pieces. And I'm going to take my window that I already have layered up with the little keys. And I forgot to show you that set, but the little keys and locks and hinges, I have made a couple hinges there. So I'm going to turn that over and I'm going to layer these onto the two shutters. But I want them to offset back this way. If I offset it this way, then my shade is not going to open. So hopefully that makes sense. I'm going to add some glue right back here on the piece that goes around or through the middle, not on the shutter itself, but on the piece that goes through the middle. And then I'm just going to add glue on the little crossbars right there. And now when I add this one, it's going to be offset, but my window will still open. So let's see, is that, yeah, that's pretty good. All right, and now we'll do this one same way. So it's got a piece of paper that's attached to the outer part. That's where I'm attaching, that's where I'm offsetting it. So it goes back towards the middle because I still want these to be able to open and close. Okay. And same thing. I'm just going to layer that up, and you can kind of see there if it's peeking out in a good way. There we go. So from the back side, that gold paper, you can kind of see if they're lined up, if there's any big gaps or something. So there we go. And now we have that pretty gold peeking out on this piece. Oh, and you know what? I just realized I forgot to cut a piece, but that's okay. It won't change our design any, but if you notice on this one, I cut a gold piece to go over the edges to give that an edge. And this time I forgot to cut that piece of gold to go over the top. So we're just going to leave it white on this one, but that is okay. It'll still be very pretty. I just totally forgot that. Okay, so we're going to lay it out like a snowman. And then this top piece, we're going to bring down. And the top piece is where this one will go. And this piece is where this one will go. So hopefully that made sense. Whoa. So pull one, two. There you go. So if you have it like a snowman, the very top piece, flop it down. And then this is going to be your card front. And then this piece that's down here, that's going to be your, what will be your inside or your stand. So I'm going to go ahead and add this one. And I like it that this piece, it doesn't matter, you know, up and down wise, it doesn't matter too much. It's just a circle. But on this piece, it matters quite a bit. But before we add this one, we want to add this one. And I've cut this circle so that it has some of the florals. And I wanted those florals to be on the left-hand side so that it will have some leaves and florals kind of showing through my window. And that's where I'm going to put my florals on top. So you can kind of see on this one, see, you can see some florals back behind there. All right. Now I'm just going to add my glue on the outer edge and then down the middle. I'm not putting any glue on my shutters. If I can keep from it here. Okay. All right. Oops. And you want to keep this bar right here perpendicular to this piece right here. Hopefully I've got that on there. I think so. There we go. Make sure my shutter's open. There we go. Press that down. Okay, now let's do this side first. So this is my right. This will be the left-hand side. I'm going to go ahead and flip this piece underneath and turn it this way. And on these two crossbars, I'm going to put some foam. So these little bitty foam strips, I'm going to put one kind of right here, right in the middle. See where I'm putting it? Right there on that crossbar. And then I'm going to put one on this side as well. And that's just going to give me a little bit of lift. And we'll go ahead and put that down. And then this one we're going to let be open. Okay, so now I believe we are ready to add our flowers. And before we add our flowers, let's go ahead and add the lantern on the right-hand side. So on the lantern, I'm going to put 2 strips of foam so that lifts up quite a bit. I'm going to stack them on top of each other. So I've got 1 strip. Okay. And the second one. This is a little bit wider than the foam that I used for the crossbars, so I'm just going to add that right on top. And add this one right on top too. There we go. And now I'm just going to set this in here so a little bit of these berries kind of hang off over my edge. Position it. And then I also wanted to position it where this circle, you know, the candle's not perfectly centered in the circle, but you can see it through that circle. So you see how that is kind of, so just so you can see that a little better. Now, depending on what angle you're looking at your card, you're going to see the lantern in there more than others. So that's why we're leaving this lifted up. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and turn on my hot glue gun. And we're going to add our flowers. There we go. So before I start gluing them down, I always like to kind of lay them around and decide where I want them. So I'm going to put the largest one and the smallest, one of the smaller ones. Sorry, I got them mixed up. Down here. Then I'm going to put this medium one up here. And then kind of this one, just offset a bit right there. So it's not really in the same. And then for this piece, I'm just going to tuck it right in here. Kind of just right in there. Okay. And for this little bird, I'm going to put him, I'm going to erase that just a little. This little bird, I'm going to tuck him right down there in the flowers. Okay. So go ahead and do that. And I can see that we're going to add our prills at the end because I did not prill these yet. I just noticed that. Okay. Offset those petals a little bit. And I did run all of my petals and my leaves through the mold for this poinsettia with holly, and I did them all face down. There we go. All right, now for my little bird that I'm going to nestle in here, I'm going to put some foam underneath just to give her some height. And I think I'm going to double it up. And I'm pretty much just going to put it right on her body. And it's actually going to sit down inside my window, which is why I'm doubling it up. So I'm just going to tuck that right down in there and poke that right there. Okay. Now I'm going to take one of the smaller leaves and tuck that right down there. Just hold that in there. Take one of the larger leaves and just start tucking your leaves in there around your poinsettia. I'm going to go ahead and tear some of them apart just so I can not have it all just two. I like to kind of make it a little more random. Well, there we go. All right, now this piece I was just going to tuck right up in here above my bird. Let's see here. Get that tucked in. Maybe I want a few of my berries to be seen, and this is where I'm going to have my Merry Christmas kind of come out of, right down in here. So it's kind of important that wherever you space this, this is able to kind of tuck and come out at a nice angle. You don't want to like aiming down over your birds or something. So just kind of be aware of that if you're when you place your berries. Okay. All right. And then I'm going to add one more leaf up here on the top. My glue gun is, there we go. All right, there we go. Okay, now for this piece, I'm just going to add a little bit of curl to it, and I'm going to tuck it right in there. And it's a little too long, so I am going to trim just a little bit off. Add some glue, hot glue right here to the tip, and just tuck it right back under those berries. There we go. And it might be good on this one to add just a little bit of glue right here so that that sticks to the shutter over here. There we go. All right, it's coming together really well. The last thing, this little bird, before I had him sitting up on top, and that's certainly an option, or we can bring him down here on the bottom. You could even put him more on the outside. So I don't know. What do you think? I kind of like him over here sitting on top of the lantern. I think he looks good there. So I'm going to go ahead and just add hot glue right there on the back of him. And I'm literally going to set him right on top of that little curly thing that's on top of the lantern. There we go. All right. So this is just one way that you can use these fun pre-made card blanks to create a card quick and easily. That's one of the things I like about them. And it stands up to make a beautiful Christmas card that anyone could enjoy. You know what? I totally forgot. These little pieces right here, I tucked a couple of those right down here just to kind of finish filling out that greenery down there, and forgot. There we go. So there we go. That just kind of finishes out that scene to have a little bit more greenery under there. All right. So I will go back and add my glitter and my prills to the center of my flowers. And there we have another festive Christmas. And you can make your gold to go around the edge or leave it white. I kind of like them both ways. All right, I'm going to go ahead and switch my camera back. All right, so for the whole month of October, if you spend $100 on the website, you will be able to pick out a free stamp set. And you may have noticed the other day that Emma Lou announced that the stamens are 60% off. So those are going quickly. So definitely you're going to want to stockpile your stamens so that you have plenty for the future. So, all right, I am so glad that you joined me today, and I look forward to crafting with you again soon. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.